So I've violated law number one because naturally, like you, I had a job on a television show. I was a researcher, and you were judged by how many stories you ended up having produced through your research. I was by far the best one. I had like well over 30, where the next person had like 10 or so, right? And I thought I was just doing fantastic. And then I was fired. And I was fired because in a meeting, the person above me was thinking, Robert has an attitude. He's not listening. He's not being respectful. So she started laying into me again and again and again till she finally fired me. I didn't understand that it wasn't about researching hard and coming up with the best material. It was about playing the game the way she would, making her look better and not me look better. Mm-hmm. I learned the hard way. And so I want other people to understand it's okay to have ideals. I don't want to make you all cynical, but you have to be realistic. You have to understand that the people you work for have an ego, and you have to feed their ego and not violate it and not make them feel insecure.
It's so true. And I think it's hard for people to take that in because, like you said, it's almost like you're violating rule number one to the masses by exposing the fact that we don't talk about this, and yet it's true.
Yeah.
And so I know you got a ton of pushback when you came out with this first book. I also saw it. I was going back through old articles with seduction, too. The same thing. You kind of said the quiet part out loud. And I was wondering, when you're young, what percentage of people do you think actually realize that there is this undercurrent of how reality works that is true? Like, is this something normal for people to understand now, 25 years later, after you wrote this book? Or do people still not understand that being direct isn't always going to get you what you want?
It's, if I had to put a percentage on it, and I've thought about this, and it's not scientific by no means, I think about 5% of people actually understand these laws intuitively. And I can't explain why. I don't think it's genetic. It's just there's something to it where they understand, for instance, always say less than necessary, law number 4. They understand that if they talk less, they're not going to say something stupid. And people are going to look at them as if, they have an aura of mystery and they're powerful. They know that. They don't need to read Robert's book. They understand it's in their DNA. And they're people who generally, get very far in life, okay? And they can often be a little bit more amoral and unethical, than the rest of us. But so the majority, the 95% of us, we don't know these things, right?